Hello, Billy Downs here. Welcome to video 4 in this sequence. Now we're going to look at some of the specific changes and highlight the specific changes in this softball activity that make it much more inclusive of people with disabilities. Let's have a look at the video now.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Mark and Richard, would you come down the front so you can see what I'm doing, please? Okay. We're going to practice our softball skills again today, only this time we're going to add a couple of new rules, all right? As you can see out there, there are some alternative bases. We have course 1, and this is course 2. Some of you will run to course 1 and some to course 2, but I'll call the play as we go, okay? Now for the hitters, we can hit a pitched ball.
Okay, first thing to note, much better visual demonstration, not just verbal instruction, but visual demonstration too. You also notice right at the start there that she asked Richard and Mark to come down the front so they could see what was happening. So she actually thought about how to ensure that the people who might have restricted vision is able to see the visual demonstration that she was about to do. So good, clear visual demonstration.
And we can hit the ball off the tee. And we can also hit a rolled ball. This is the rolled ball. There's an easy catch.
Looks pretty strange, doesn't it? But you get the point here that people with vision impairment or restricted sight here were down the front. Also, the person at the back there you see had a mentor or someone to explain what is happening to, as well, to guide them through the visual demonstration if they had problems with that as well. But the person in the wheelchair is at the front and has full line of vision, and the person at the back has a mentor to help them with the instructions and what is actually happening there.
Ball there as well, and the big yellow softball. Now remember, 2 different sets of bases.
Now remember, this guy who was left out of the scene originally was no adaptation at all for him. Here again they've got a mentor, someone to try and help this person keep on task and to pay attention to the instructions and what's going to happen. Here it's obviously a friend, a buddy system. This is a buddy system has been set up to assist this person to be much more included into the group.
The white one is course 1, the green is course 2. I'll call the play when we get out there, so let's go and play, okay? Yeah. Mark, I'll get you the right bat. There we go. You can take the big blue. Good. I'll get this ball and that ball. That's good. Right, the man. Excellent. Good, 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 good. Yeah, just pop them down. That's good.
Okay, first thing, you also see that the base plate for the batter is in the appropriate position. He's just orientating himself to the base plate now, which is on the intersection between the 2 lines that are marked on the court. This is very good for the person with vision impairment who's able to track and view the lines with tunnel vision, so he sees the boundaries and where he's meant to run after hitting the ball. Also, you'll see that the mentor for the person has also stayed with him on the court during the field of play to ensure that the person remains on task, and the teacher herself is actually more involved in the activities as well, and has provided an alternative selection of balls for pitching for the bowler.
Go, Mark.
Again, there's really little danger for the catcher here. There's been a marker placed on the ground, which is a safe distance between the base plate and the catcher. That ensures that it's a safe distance there for the person who's not going to get hit by the bat.
Yes.
And the excess equipment here too has been placed outside the boundaries of the court as well, and is not in the way of anybody really around the court. So they've been put out the way and outside the far boundaries and the field of play. Of course, one of the difficulties of the previous video was the fast pitched ball, which made it very difficult for the person with tunnel vision to be able to track that ball. Now they're using a much larger white ball against a dark background that's rolled to him on the ground, and so he's much more able to have an opportunity to be able to strike this ball and to be able to make the first or second base. He's much more able to track this type of ball rather than the fast moving pitched ball. He obviously also uses the markings on the court to track where he's running, as also his buddy is actually calling his name as well, Mark, Mark, Mark. So he's using a verbal cue and a verbal orientation for that person, so they know which direction and where to run, and that there's no confusion there.
Go, go, go. Follow through, eyes on the book.
You note here the different sorts of, it's no longer a pitched ball, it's actually a ball on a stand here, and also alternative balls could be used. There could be used a larger ball on the stand as well, but in this case they're using a smaller ball placed on a stand. And the bat being used here is not the heavy metal bat, it's a plastic bat with a much wider face to it. So adaptations to the equipment here are really important to how this person is included into the activity and to give them the best possible chance of competing in the same way as others in the group. You'll see the alternative. Before, one of the problems was the distance between the batter and the first base. Here there's an alternative base that is a shorter distance for this person to run, and people have a choice whether to be able to run to a short first base or the far base, and the instructor can actually call which base for which person here. So the instructor has control over which bases, which points each batter has to run to.
Oh, safe. Oh. All right.
So you see some very simple modifications made a huge difference to how inclusive this particular activity was. Some of them are quite obvious modifications, some of them are less obvious modifications too, and require some prior knowledge about the capabilities of each of the students there. But you get the idea that some of the simple changes and examples of best practice in teaching can make a huge difference to how inclusive any particular activity is here. But you need sometimes to look at the particular detail and have some prior knowledge about that. Use of the framework of teaching style, rules and regulations, equipment and environments is a good way of thinking about certain things, certain ways of adapting and modifying activities in this way. So that gives you a really good framework to work to. I hope this little video series has been of use to you, and that it gives you the idea that using that sort of framework and making the small changes and looking at those sorts of things can make a huge difference to how individuals are included into particular activities.